Point number 3. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I'm trying to stay calm so that I can get the message across to you, because this is the kind of information, the kind of words, the kind of questions that open up the world of the supernatural to you and I today, so that we can walk in a dimension that Jesus walked in with his power, and we can exercise the kind of authority that he intended for us to. Check this out. The next scripture I'd like for you to turn to, of course, still in the book of Matthew in the New Testament. I'd like you to turn to Matthew chapter 16. And we're going to start at verse 18, or really verse 16. Matthew 16 and 16. And we're going to go through about verse number 18. Now, listen. You know, Jesus, in teaching them in the Bible, his disciples, spoke a word that teaches us, his disciples, today. And one of the things that happened, you know, there's a big question that's out in the public, out in the general arena of thought. And it says, listen, don't be so focused on one God. You Christians are kind of closed-minded and you think that Jesus is everything. And what we're here to say, what we're here to demonstrate is that he really is everything. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And when in Jesus' day, he had gathered his disciples together, they had just reached Caesarea Philippi. And Jesus gathered his guys together because he wanted to ask them a question. With so many people reporting to have supernatural power or authority or governmental might, he asked them, who do men say that I am? You're out there in the public, you're socializing, you're around people. What are you hearing? Who do men say that I am? And he said, well, some say that you're a prophet, some say you're Jeremiah, some say you're this and that. And Jesus said, okay, but I'm trying to teach you something. Paraphrase. Who do you say? You that have questions, what manner of man is this and all that? Yeah. Who do you say at this point, who do you say that I am? Well, I'm sure they looked around the room for someone to pipe up and say something. They could count on Peter. And so Peter, speaking by revelation, instantly downloaded, Peter says, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. I mean, I don't know how much he understood at that point, but that's what came out of his mouth. And Jesus immediately seized upon those words, and he said, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is currently in heaven. He is the one who has downloaded this information to you. Thank you for obeying him and speaking it right out loud. I catch on to those words, Jesus said, just like he did everything else. And he said, listen, based on what you said, based on the fact that you're hearing supernaturally from my Father who is in heaven, he said, I am going to build my church upon the rock that you just released of truth. And just like the wise man in the first part of this message, he's building something. He's actively building his house. And he is going to actually be able to build it on this foundation, and the very gates of hell will not be able to stand when this house is built and fully functional. Check this out. Going on from there, in this second, we're in part number 3. Be right back.